Hello everyone, my name is Vikas Manral and I am co-founder and chief marketing officer of SolutionBuggy, an online platform that connects small and medium scale enterprises in manufacturing sector with a subject matter expert. Today we are with our expert and our advisor, Mr. Sanjay Nagi, and the topic we are going to discuss this week is India ready to replace China as a manufacturing hub? So, sir, I would like to know your views. Do you believe it is true? And if you believe it is true, then uh, when? What are the timelines behind it? And then, if there is a gap analysis which used to be done, you can share your thoughts also.
Okay, thank you, Vikas, for inviting me to be part of this very interesting discussion. And by nature, I'm an eternal optimist. So I would love to believe that India can actually overtake China in terms of its manufacturing competitiveness. But in the current scenario, and I will tell you why, I don't believe this is very easily possible. Let me operate from first principles. So let me first go invert the question, why has China become a global powerhouse of competitiveness? So there are a couple of factors which and we have been helping various of our clients to understand the Chinese method, including whole industry segments as such, and we are competing with them, as we know. So first of all, China has scale and capacity. When the ADAG group wanted to set up its multiple power plants, they went to BHEL. And BHEL across its 17 factories did not have the capacity of one Chinese company. Now, the BHEL quoted a time frame of 5 years to complete that much of capacity. So obviously they went to China, which that one factory was able to meet in 1 year, right? So scale and capacity is something which India lacks. And that is one of the reasons why China is more competitive than us. The second, of course, everyone knows, is the cost issues, the way they subsidize, etc., cost issues. The third is the speed to market. We were dealing with the imitation jewelry industry in India. When they get a design from Europe, by the time they are able to make a design, in the manufacturing design and give it to the client, by that time, China has already shipped its first prototype to them. They're so fast. Speed of implementation is very, very fast. Then they have a discipline of implementation, which India we lack quite a bit. Let me tell you why, and they have it right from their childhood. In TT, when they train the people for TT, for the first 1 year, they are not even telling them to take their rackets. They are just making them run. Then the next month, run with sandbags. Then the next month, run with the sacks. So they are just building endurance for 6 months. And the next 6 months, they have just lights in front of you. So they say, if it's a red light, step left. If it's a green light, step right. If it's a blue light, step forward. So for next 6 months, they are only making you, and they rapidly shift the lights and they are making you. After that, only they ask you to get into the TT table. Now, that is the way in Chinese implementation rigor is built up, and the skill of implementation is built up, which India we are lacking. And the last thing, I think China also has a lot of strategy which they use as a country, whether it is buying over assets. As well as I know, you're yourself an expert, that China dominates 80% of the rare earths industry in the world. So everything that is made from electronics, they will dominate that industry forever. Whether those rare earths are in America or in Brazil, it's China who is controlling. And China is funding countries entirely, so they have access to those resources as such. So China is deliberately using a lot of strategy also. Now, it is for these reasons of scale and competitiveness, of speed, of implementation rigor, of strategy, and also supporting infrastructure, that China is ahead. Now, therefore, there is a lot of gap which we can collectively as a government and industry do, and the government has made some steps happen towards this. They have given PLIs to certain production linked incentives to certain 17 different sectors aside of pharma. So that's a good sign that the government is incentivizing industry to produce more, not just giving you a capital subsidy, but actually incentivizing you to produce more. So the more you produce, the more PLI you will get. So this is a good scheme, and the private industry should latch up to this scheme, set up scaled factories. Vietnam does it on furniture. In one factory of Vietnam, you will get as much as half of India's capacity of furniture. You will get that in one factory in Vietnam. So Vietnam has been an example. So our industries, our large businessmen have to think around scale. The government has thought, now it's up to the industry. India, the gap is that we have a very fragmented SME sector, very fragmented, and 49% of production is happening over there. So that this fragmentation, which helps in our employment and etc., but it is not helping the company in competitiveness. Basically, we need scale, we need speed of implementation, we need real rigor. Now, some companies have done it. I believe Bajaj in motorcycles, they have dominated the African market even more than what the Chinese have been able to do. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And as I said earlier, I am an optimist, and I believe that if industry responds well to the government's initiatives and a couple of other hiccups can get reduced and removed, then we would be over there. One of the very strategic ways in which we can help this fragmented SME sector, many of them are SolutionBuggy clients also, is to set up common facility centers. So, that's what we are proposing for the imitation jewelry industry, that everybody cannot afford a galvanizing plant. Everybody cannot afford a plating plant. But we can have a common facility center. Each one can use that for 2 hours. And I'm very happy to tell you that the government has also developed such cluster schemes where they are supporting such initiatives to be taken by groups of industries together. So I believe the writing on the wall is clear. The only thing which I see the government is doing its part is very focused towards the national goals. Industry is trying to respond well, and now there is more even financial reason to respond well. What is missing is what I call the implementation rigor, that you decide one day you operate well for 1 month and then the normal chalta hai attitude takes over. That is one thing which I think is a national character, sadly, and if that can be overcome, then I don't think we will be anywhere behind China. We will be quite above them, because in fact, in terms of R&D and innovation, we are more than them. That right?
Right.
I hope that answers my question, Vikas.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the elaborate explanation. And what I conclude from what you said is, of course, there are a lot of things which are happening, which are related to the policy, micro environment, but also there are things which are much more related to the company itself. But the key lies in the culture. The time we try to be more flexible, more agile, more fast, will certainly catch up. So with this hope, I would like to thank you for sharing your thoughts on the topic, and thank you for that. And it was really valuable. I hope we get into those shoes very quickly. So thanks for your time. Thanks for your valuable efforts. And to move ahead, I would like to tell everyone again, we will come back with another trending topic, and one of our advisor who will share his views on the topic. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure to connect with you and SolutionBuggy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.